Eventually, unless they find a cure between now and the time my medications stop working, all the ones that they have, eventually there's a good chance that I'm going to die prematurely because of cancer or because of what the medications have done to my body. But I've kind of come to peace with that. And the main reason I've come to peace with my inevitable death, everybody's death is inevitable. No one is not going to die at some point. But for me, the clincher was nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows when they are going to die. And just because you've been told you have a terminal disease, it does not mean you should stop living your life. And it doesn't mean your life is any less valuable than anybody else's just because you happen to know with some certainty that your lifespan is going to be shorter than what we would have expected otherwise. But just because we know that doesn't mean your life should now become less important than somebody else who has not yet been diagnosed with a terminal disease. In fact, that person who is, as we assume for the moment, perfectly healthy could be dead tomorrow, while you, with your terminal disease, could live on for another 10 years, or 20 years, or 30 years. So that's the thing that helped me through the terminal disease part of my terminal disease, is that nobody knows when they're going to die. So why the heck should I devalue my time here when Joe Blow next to me in the car, the car next to me, is going to be dead tonight? But, even though he's got no known diseases, he could be dead from a heart attack, same age and everything, but just could be dead. So why should I be devalued because I have been diagnosed with a terminal disease? That's the message any terminal disease person needs to hear, because nobody knows when their time is going to come. And don't let anybody devalue your life just because you've been told that your time is possibly or likely to be shorter than it should have been otherwise. Because if anybody does that to you, they're not worth your time. I thought I was going to be gone 3-4 years ago. Easy. I'm still here. I'm still pretty darn healthy, even though the chemo kind of kicks my butt. But that's to be expected. So, just because you have a terminal disease, in my case, breast cancer, stage 4, doesn't mean my life should be less valuable than anybody else's. So if a doctor tries to blow me off, well, I'm going to blow him off and find somebody else who values my life and understands what it's like to deal with a terminal disease. Because you know what? To all you people out there, all you doctors who think, oh, well, that person's terminally ill, I'm not going to waste my time on you because you might be dead tomorrow. Well, guess what, jerk? You might be dead before me. And how dare you devalue my life over the life of somebody else? Wait till this happens to you or somebody else that you love. And then remember all the people you have devalued because of your lack of experience, your lack of compassion, especially for a doctor to do that. To have a lack of compassion for their patients is disgusting. And I've seen it on multiple occasions from multiple different healthcare places, not just any one place, not my current place, not, many. It's rampant in the medical care. People think, oh, well, doctors they know everything. So if they tell me this, it must be right. No. They are human, just like the rest of us. They will make mistakes. They will be lazy. They can be bad, just like any other profession. Just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they're godlike. Please don't ever fool yourself into believing that. There are some fantastic doctors out there, but not all doctors are fantastic. Just like police, just like teachers, just like politicians. There's bad and good in every single profession. So if you get a gut feeling that your doctor is feeding you a bunch of crap, well, guess what? He or she probably is. And it's time to find a new doctor, because your life is worth it. I don't care what disease you have or what disease they haven't diagnosed you with yet. If you think something's wrong with you, do your research, go find it, because your life matters. We talk about the Black Lives Matters, and I completely understand where they're coming from with that. But as cancer patients, our lives matter too, from a medical standpoint, from a compassion standpoint. Just because we aren't going to be around forever doesn't mean that we should be, oh, well, you have GERD, so we're just going to oh, well, it's just your cancer. I'm not going to do anything to help you. Middle finger time. And go find somebody else. Of course, I wouldn't actually do that to my doctor. That's what I'm thinking and feeling. But any doctor who treats me like that, they really shouldn't be a doctor anymore. Because I understand that you have to have a disconnected compassion. As a teacher, I had to have the same thing. You still have to have empathy and compassion for those you are in charge of as a teacher or as a medical professional. But to just blatantly give up on a patient, it leaves me speechless. So if a doctor does that to you, and whether you're terminal or not, go find somebody else, because our lives do matter. And, I still have more to give to people around. I have friends that I'm helping, through emotional difficulties. If I wasn't here, who would she talk to? She's a very important friend of mine, and she doesn't have a lot of other people she would talk to. What would she do without me? I mean, I know I'm important to her recovery of what she's going through. Same thing for my kids. I'm helping my kids, emotionally and financially, through school and whatever. I can't help a lot, but I do help find some financially. You know, I'm here if they need to talk. But if I was dead, I couldn't contribute that way to my family. So just because you're terminal, it doesn't mean you have nothing left to give to the world. Give what you can. I mean, where I live here on this ranch, I contribute however I can. On days I'm feeling good, I will go out and I'll make things look nice and clean things up and be useful in any way I can. And days I can't, there's no pressure. I can still contribute physically, emotionally, and so can you. Just find out what works for you. And the people who are just sucking the life out of you, kick them out of your life. They're not worth it, because your life is important. My life is important. And anybody who treats you with disrespect in that manner, they don't deserve your time or your thought energy. Just let them go and find somebody who will give you that energy and time that you need so that you can feel the best and contribute to society the best you can, because we all matter. So take care of yourself, and don't let anybody tell you just because you're terminal, or just because you're a woman, or just because you're a person of color, that you don't matter, because that's a bunch of BS. We all matter. So take care of yourself, love each other, love yourself, and be happy.